Distance deception, boys and girl, is the motif, the essence of this video. Enough people have attempted to cover it. I'll probably have a little bit of a different take on A Tale of Two Swords between two of the very best modern day samurai, and Mr. TJ Dillashaw and Cody Noel Garbrandt. You know the backstory. We won't dive too deep into that, but a fascinating affair once again between these two young bucks. So let's get rolling. This never seems to work out well, for whatever reason. Call it karma being a bitch. So I wanted to just kind of point out, this is the start of the tale of two differences, right? This is Cody's movement here, and as you see as he moves forward, it's kind of straight lined and following, right? And in the case of TJ, what I put here is basically just an asterisk symbol, but it's something you would see under a heavy bag often, and it's in order for the person hitting the bag to always keep in mind angles and how to create them. So if you look at the way that he's in, out, he might go left, left, forward, forward, back, back, like he might double up on his side, but the movement is changing nevertheless. So like last fight, every time that Cody's coming in like that hard and heavy, stepping on that front foot, TJ goes to leg kick, even if it's not to actually land. It is a disruptor. So he'll also bait with these lean-ins, and this is the distance deception. So this looks like a pull counter to begin with. And although it's not different per se, it's used differently if you look at the way that he uses his feet. When you see him square up here, I put a little arrow just to show, you never know when he does these kind of drop split steps if he's going to go left or right, and that's part of the guessing game. And Cody guessed right there with a high kick, but it was good high-handed defense from TJ nevertheless. So noteworthy were the feint reactions and the difference between them. Now, TJ kept doing these kind of hard left steps, and if you look here, he's constantly leaning his head forward when he's in safe distance, when he leans his way in. And the other thing is, as Cody will close the gap, he'll pull his hands up higher and start tucking his chin with other tricks that he kind of has, air quote that. So look at the nice quick set again. Looks a little bit off balance, but boom, recovers with that exact same thing I was just talking about. And they're like level change feints, as if he's going to shoot for a takedown. Beautiful level change feints into freeze pop-up jabs. This is like Tyson musings, right? But it's in an MMA context, as far as it looks like he's bobbing his way and weaving his way in. Roy Jones Jr. posturing into the crossover effect. This is something I covered years ago that he does, where he'll start kind of blitz shifting his way in right there with feints and long strides, so that whatever lead foot is coinciding with an alternate cross, essentially. But the way that he does it looks like a crossover dribble in basketball. So here again, complete with pop jab, cadence circular ones into a 10 high, meaning a high right kick. And the southpaw ending flurry is when you land there off your right kick into southpaw. And what happened here was Cody had moments to kind of capitalize again on these leg kicks, because TJ kind of made a blunder there. But what the issue kind of with Cody in these attacks is that he stays high the entire time. It's a really good idea, but if he had leg kicked there or even body kicked, how open it would have been after that beautiful flurry, because it's fast enough. That's not the issue. So note this is just, again, it's all distance deception, which is really thematic throughout. For example, here you see with a draped left hand, again I'll reference Roy Jones, in his shoulder and hip position, it looks like he could pop jab, but instead he's going to throw a beautiful lead to load up that three. Roger that, Senator. So that whizzed right by, and that was a little bit closer than I think it appeared at first glance. So what I want you to do is watch his back foot and the feint that comes afterwards. He's going to drag it kind of to his own right, or our right from our vantage point, which is exactly his. And look at the reaction of Cody to the feint. I mean, if anything here, it's an overreaction, right? Instead of just resetting when you don't see anything, which is what I think TJ does better than Cody, is to not always look for the attack, because it's not always there, right? So Dillashaw really does move like a point guard in the NBA. I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know what other sports you guys watch, if that makes sense to you. But if not, just type in crossover dribble in the NBA. You know, Westbrook or Steph Curry or something. So I put control, which is kind of TJ's approach. It's like it's this controlled cerebral process versus the chaos, athleticism, speed, power of Cody. But look at how slappy he is with that. And I put, don't forget, chaos can be dangerous though, but that speed is terrifying. And I wanted to point out that kind of elbow shift that he was doing there, defensively responsible. Looks like a Detroit shelling. And I put this, that was alchemy, and that was what I was saying about controlled chaos. So take note for later. Commentary thought that Cody did all the damage here at first. A gift of hindsight, of course, that I have now, and slowing this down and pausing and seeing who hit who when. This is the first drop pivot you're going to see from that stance. Boom, it's like a switch foot pivot, like a split shift. And again, back to the feints. They both landed there was the point. So it was an almost, but it was an almost that I missed right here. Check this out when it's slowed down. Ooh, that is literally, I'd say, I don't know, 4 inches from being a knockout strike. And the timing was perfect. He just missed. That's fighting. It's inches. It is a game of inches. So I call this just mantis posturing. It has absolutely nothing to do with kung fu, by the way. The attack isn't something that you'll see so often from him. That was a nice kind of blitz shift, left hand into a spinning right back fist. But if you see here, he's doing the same thing, but he does those kind of level feints, and it gets Cody to be semi-flat-footed, which is not the norm from him. And I do like the low kicks to then come up. And what you see here a lot of is those Lomachenko type kind of flash jabs. See that? They're just obfuscating vision. And he uses those to then go right into low kicks, changing the level of the attack. Kind of the antecedent to what we were saying about Cody earlier, right? Ignite fireworks. This is really where things started to change pace, if you will. Now that looked like a knockdown. Looked like TJ potentially got clipped by that right hand. He may have, I'm not positive. That left hand certainly was a miss. Could have been a push. Either way, he seemed to regain his balance and composure pretty quickly. You can see here, I put he's just shelling. He's got that nice kind of Detroit shell. A lot of people call it Philly shell. Look at this. It's ties. Feet times are made. I told you I wouldn't sing. I lied. So different approach to defense and weapon use. Look at their hands and position of, and which one had efficacy and which did not. So watch their leading left arms as they throw their right hands respectively, but also watch the heads in their direction off the center line. Cody's comes into it as TJ's fades off of it. So here's some foreshadowing from my old channel. Listen. Cody will wait and reset before he throws knockout punches. Listen. Yep. Shifting, you're going to see him flare that elbow out after the reset. Funny how things work like that. Hey! So Cody postures up after a few punches kind of force him up and away. So he didn't want to stay in that position very long. Kind of uses his knee as a fulcrum to get in there and get out. And this is just wonderful, old school, kind of that haggler lean in, but into that drag hip with you straight right. Then he fades to his own left, way off the center line. Cody's kind of hip to it. You know, obviously these two know each other, so nothing landed, but I really like the movement and the idea there. So pressure's mounting, literally. And Cody's shared a few little exchanges, but there's no consequence to them. And No Love isn't changing levels in this manner like TJ is. See these hands always kind of in position to do something and to be defensively responsible. That was a nice kind of out of nowhere explosion. But watch the evasion post strike. So Cody's going to return fire. Whoop! Just miss. And TJ's hands are there. That's the other thing, is that these are landing on his shoulders because his defense is as good as his offense. Again, that's kind of the Tyson mantra and how that plays in. So I hate reading what's on the screen, but this led to pretty much my favorite moment in the fight. And he does these kind of, they're drop pivots, but the way that he does them, he's switching his feet. So just think of like a switch kick, like the footwork involved, but instead you're doing it backward right there. Oh, slip at the same time into a duck under and a right. So the framing with his left elbow allows him to give himself space and to see what to do to counter, and or if there's one available. He's controlling Cody in the process of that as well. This is just beautiful, beautiful stuff, boys and girl. And a little bit of a different angle there. Baba boy. So suddenly it's kind of the Mongoose v Cobra someone alluded to years ago when I did Barao TJ, and you have one kind of using angles, using accuracy, using a cerebrality to try to get the finish. And I put slow down because you need to slow the fuck down. And much better here. It's kind of the he who sees the way broadly thing from Musashi, who I quoted a bit in this. And that was such a smart decision to go to the tie plumb the knee, and the accuracy of that right hand was unbelievable. Too early, and I just kind of framed him up with some little things on the keyboard, but what I wanted to show was off balance, and nah, I don't think so. And the lineage is strong with this young Padme. So, us to Sensei Boss, us to Dwayne Bang, and of course the champ himself. And if you enjoyed this, please hit that thumbs up button. I am getting used to this. It's still goofy, but we'll do what we have to do. And I appreciate all your support. It matters. Read along. Cheers.